Well, we're headed to a car show. Only Nick made it, we didn't. We are leaking fuel pretty good. So we're going nowhere fast. It's all good. Yeah, stay tuned. By the way, if you like this content, smash that like button and hit the share button, share this far and wide, give a comment or two. It helps with whatever algorithm. We don't make any money off of this, but you know, you never know, someday when I retire, this might be my fallback career. So hope you enjoyed this, working on the 1982 Porsche 928. We're on the trailer.
Turn left, then turn left on Marietta Highway.
Hopefully this isn't the shape of things to come. Okay, what we have going on here today is a slow fuel leak. I don't know if you want to call it slow. You see it dripping right there? We're going to try to figure out what the heck is going on here. Just looking around this, I see absolutely no fuel leaking at all inside of here. And this thing was dripping steady. So it is a foxtrot, as we'd say in the Army, or fucking phenomena. But I don't see any fuel leaking off of here anywhere whatsoever. Crazy. Okay, well, we found the culprit. There's a crack right in here. If you can see it, there's a crack in the fuel tank right there. So I gotta figure out how the hell I seal that up. Not only do we have a crack in the fuel tank, but we also had it leaking at the bottom where the filter goes into the fuel tank. So we're gonna pull that out, seal that up. You'll hear me talk about that here in just a second. Well, what you think is a little fuel leak ends up by, that's gas out there, by the way. Well, we'll do it once over inside the garage. Here's our beautiful 9971, and then here's our 924S that we're working on restoring. Got to get the body work done on this off to paint, and it's done. How about that beautiful Porsche interior that I did on here? Door cards are all new. The seats, everything in here. Did myself. Super proud of myself on this. Bought this out of Europe. And then, of course, we got our 924 Turbo S that I've got to do some work on. First off, let me start by saying a huge shout out to TV Bond, or Tech Bond, for sending this across. And of course, my idiot-proof self, I want to make sure that I keep that side down as I'm doing this. A couple things here. There's prep, there's activator, and then there's the bonding agent. And what we're going to do is we're going to get all this stuff prepped. I've got my template here. I'm going to go ahead and get this set up and get it cut out. I'm going to go look at it on the car one more time to make sure that I get this right, so I know which way is up and which way is down. Although I think I'm just going to literally cut that. I'm going to cut that symmetrically and lay that in there and get it set. So I'm going to do that final prep, and then we'll go out to the car. All right, a lot of this stuff's not in order. I got a piece of cardboard here, and what I have done is I've sanded this. I had a small crack here, and then a crack up in here. I've marked it, and then what I'm doing is I'm getting a piece of cardboard here for my patch of where it's going to go. And I basically got that form fitted there. So that's good. I've taken acetone. I've wiped this down really good with acetone, and I just keep cleaning it up, getting the surface nice and clean on here after cutting my patch. I hit this with 180 grit sandpaper. You can already see the sanding marks on there where I've sanded it. It said you don't really want any big grooves in it. I got a couple, but it's also where a crack is there. and then my other crack is like right there. So I'm gonna get my patch extended over top of that. I'm gonna get the activator and stuff, and I'll show you this kit. All right, YouTube, we are up underneath the 928. I got to take it apart here. I've got a gas leak. You'll see some of the other video that I put in behind this. I've already shot a little bit. Getting in here, I have a TB Bonds patch kit that I'm gonna be using, and hopefully it does it, because I had a leak actually coming from here. So I went and got some more fuel line, and I also found some Teflon tape that works with fuel. So I'm praying to God that that seals that off. I may throw some fuel in here in just a minute and take a look at it and see what it does while I'm putting this patch on and before I get too far. But yeah, stay tuned. By the way, probably against everybody's better judgment, including mine, I am gonna go ahead and try and throw a little bit of fuel in here. It's gonna be fun finagling my way in here. The good news on this is, before I can get to putting the patch on, I think I eliminated my leak here. So I don't see this leaking anymore. We're gonna go ahead and take our prep bond, and we are going to spray it liberally on here and let it dry. And we will come back in a bit. I'm gonna go cut my piece out here that I have, and that will dry. We'll get our piece cut, and we'll come back and put the activator on here. Notice it says that side down. So I'm gonna take that corner right there and cut that piece off. Patch is now cut. This side is down. I'm gonna grab my next stage is to use our activator. It does say in the directions that this has acetone in it. So I'm gonna wait till that surface is completely dry. I'm gonna leave this here so I know where it's going in. And I will come back here for my, my prep for the next step. Next step is to take our activator. We're gonna do the same thing here. We're gonna get our activator sprayed on here. Where this is gonna go, we're gonna put it on there liberally to make sure that it's in place. And we'll let that dry. Next step on this is to use the heat gun. And I've got my heat gun out. And I will go ahead and turn this on. I'm gonna widen it over here for you. And I'm just gonna go ahead and heat this up. It says to take it, not get it too hot, get it up to about 115 degrees. So I'm just gonna go ahead and warm this up. I'm gonna watch for all the pieces, parts to evaporate on this. Clean a lot of this out to make sure there's no fuel or anything around here. I just say warm to the touch. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna put the camera away while I do this. Those are back in now. I am gonna cut a small relief right here on that, just so I can get that to fold in the area where I want it to go. So I'm gonna do that. Relief lines up almost perfectly. And the last thing to use is the bonding agent. And I'm gonna give it a good 10 minutes for it to dry out there. And then I'll start to put this on here very liberally. And I'm also gonna apply it to the spot. And they say to use that squeegee to press it in place. So I will take that squeegee out and take it with me. Felt my finger was better served than going with anything else on the polymer. There's looks like a tiny bit of an edge there, but that's still wet, but it's sealed in there. And these gloves are cheaper than anything else, you know, from a touching standpoint, so I'm not worried about it. That glue is already starting to cure and dry out. That patch is flexible, so it's got a weave to it. So I think I can pretty much safely say that is on. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm actually gonna crimp this off. It's got fuel in there. I'm gonna crimp this off. I'm gonna trim this back and then put that in there so I'm able to put this back together. I am not gonna put this car back together until tomorrow. I am gonna let this cure overnight. As a matter of fact, I may just mess with the other stuff tomorrow, but this part for now is done, and we'll come take a look at this in the morning. It said is you can apply heat to increase the bonding agent's properties. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and hit it with heat. They say there's nothing wrong with doing that. A little bit warm, but it's completely dry. So that patch is on there. We're gonna let that cure out though and do its thing. We'll mess with this. One little quick find. I don't know if you know that they make Teflon tape that is fuel resistant. So this is PTFE thread seal tape. And I got this and actually put it on the inside of that. It's called the garage shuffle. This happens depending on what we're working on. And poor little 924 had to sit out in the rain. Don't worry, we still have a lot of work to do on you. We got to fix the Julia too. Good God, everything's broken. Oh my goodness, it happens. Well, Suburban runs, kind of. So, good night, everybody. We'll look at this in the morning. Julia helped me hook all this stuff together. And I'm just gonna come out here and look after about a half an hour. I don't see any fuel leaking. I have to drive it around a little bit. Julie and I both heard it crunch when I tightened up the support straps that holds the fuel tank in. I've got to put the back cover on here, but I'm just leaving it off for right now just in case I have any leaks or something. Probably a couple hours later, coming out here just to take another look and see. Yeah, I don't see any wetness. I don't see anything dripping. I didn't like the cracking. That noise wasn't fun, but let's take her for a drive. See how she does. 3 days later, let's take a look and see what the TB Bond product did for us. We are still at 0 leaks. This thing is patched, no fuel coming down out of here. I'm gonna call that a success. We'd gone through $20 worth of gas, and then we filled the tank up and ran half the tank out, and no leaks. That's a win.